Hey guys, it's me Zazo here, and I'm gonna start doing videos with a face cam on them, so you can expect that. But yeah, this is what I look like. I stream with a face cam, so make sure I always check out my Twitch because I showcase everything that I post. I show on stream all the time. So first things first is I'm gonna go over electric DPS one more time, just briefly. I'm not gonna show gameplay because there's no runs for me to use except for the ones I did on stream yesterday for about 7 hours. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the max range loadout for elect. So I'm gonna note you can replace 1, 2, and 3 if you want to, but these are the best dots for elect. So electrogenesis is better than the cloud. The damage is higher, so I'd run electrogenesis over the cloud. And then if you were able to play the events, magma and sport pod are really good dots that go up to multiple targets. This is crazy dot damage. And then obviously we all know lasso. Lasso is gonna be what executes at 50%. So whenever anything is between that 60 and 50%, you throw it out there, it's gonna just completely nuke the ad. And like I said, we're max range. Now mind you, you can also be max range and run the White Lantern ability. You can also be max range and run Shockwave. So if you don't have the White Lantern abilities, run Shockwave. Uh, and if you do, run this. And technically, this is your max. Like this ability itself is your max damage. Your max burst fast damage in order to get Omega off quick. But if you kind of want to go with the like electric theme, because I know some of you that I've talked with, you would rather be like electric theme, max range, and you don't want to spam one ability. I'm looking out for some of y'all, and that's where this loadout comes in. Um, you do need Omega. You do need to run the rest of these abilities. If you don't have these three, it's gonna look kind of choppy because you don't have that many dots, but you're gonna have to run something like this and this, and then on this top bar. Ooh, wow, on this top bar, wow, you really don't have much to work with here. And you'd have something like this, and this is if you don't have those iconics. You got burst damage, which is what Shockwave is. You have a dot right here, and then you have Voltaic Bolt. This is also pretty much like a dot pusher, or you could just put Robot Sidekick. But I still suggest running this for your max range loadout. It's better, and then the only replaceable thing with this max range loadout is this. That is your lowest damage burst ability out of these two. You can literally throw on the White Lantern. This is way more damage, and if you don't want to be run the White Lantern because you want to be more electric theme, then you run Shockwave, and this is gonna be your max range loadout. And just briefly, I'll kind of show you what you. It's like if you played DC for a long time. It's like the old loadouts where you throw the dots up in between the bursts to build up your max dots, and you gotta maintain your dots. So it looks something like this, and then in between, I throw another dot up in between the burst damage. Not too hard, right? You just go back to the other loadout, and you kind of gotta swap in between them. But that's kind of what it looked like in a nutshell. And then we'll go to the regular hallway loadout, which is better. This is the regular AoE loadout. It's just complete burst damage. The only dot you have is Spore Pod. And like I said, if you don't have Spore Pod, Electrogenesis is going to be your best dot for the power if you don't have Magma. So you run Electrogenesis right here. And then that would be your dot. But obviously I have Spore Pod. I'm going to run the best dot that I can. And if I wanted to, I could put a second dot. I never get a chance to use this Radiant Nova because Lasso executes at 50. So once they get in that 35% threshold, they're already lassoed and dead. So you could definitely replace the Radiant Nova, but this is really good. And this is pretty much what I showed in my last electric video. Really good. This will keep you up, and you could even beat water people. I was able to beat water DPSs in SFFE on stream. And then for single target, you would run it like this. I swapped out non-candle for Omega. Omega is just more consistent and just better in all ways than the candle. Um, Again, if you didn't have this as a dot, replace this with Electrogenesis. Is gonna be your best dot. Um, if I didn't have Luminous Beam, you don't really have another ability besides Voltaic Blast that you can replace that with, but it still doesn't hit nearly as hard. And then if you don't have Starbolt, you might as well just put Tesla Ball up there to help you generate Supercharge. And that's what it will look like if you had pretty much no Iconics. And then Life Shield, I mean, it's literally a shield. You just replace it with Flux. Um, this is what it would look like if you weren't using the Iconic abilities. But again, this is definitely going to be the best right now before the Blue Lantern powers are out later today. Um, and like I said, if you didn't have Omega, or I don't know why you wouldn't have Omega, but for some reason you wanted to replace Omega, you just put the candle in there. And mind you, you can have Omega and replace the transformation card. It's really up to you. But for some reason, some people don't have Omega. I don't really understand that. So I'm just showing it without Omega because some people don't have it. It's just going to be the candle. And at that point, I'll put it in my second bar. And then again, if you do have Omega and for some reason you don't have the other one, you could do it like so. And it could look more like this. And personally, I still like to run Starbolt, so I'd probably take out this. I like to use Starbolt to help count for EOG procs. It's really easy. It's either 6 from the beginning, or it's 4 after the eye goes down. And I'm talking about like the ticks. And pause EOG. It's so yeah. But this is the loadout I'm recommending. And I tried to make this really short and kind of easy to follow. Those are the loadouts I have for Electric Might DPS. The allies are the same. The artifacts are pretty much the same across like literally every build. Artifacts don't change. The white mods are like so. So pause the video so that way you could find them. You can replace the back mod if you want to, but I heal, so have to have the shield on my back. Damage, orbital, these buff your damage, supply drop, and then what I swapped out is this breakout trinket in the mother box. My cola is the Bottle City Soda. My stats are like 703, pretty much almost 704k might. What else have I not showed? I guess I'll show the traits. I got 1 point in weapon for everything, 1 point in acrobatics for everything. I grab the iconics that I need. If you don't have the iconics, you don't grab iconics, but you grab what you need. And then you go super powered, you get your crits, you go straight into might and power. After might and power, I would recommend going health, but I'm elect, and honestly, I got 2 shields in my AoE loadout. As y'all notice, I be healing myself with that arc lightning, and I just be rotating the arc lightning and kiting sometime. You could get your health back just a little bit, but you should make sure you're super powered, crits, mind power, health next, so you got enough health to survive and take bigger hits. And then that next part is really wherever you want to put it. I don't use my weapon outside of the first weapon tap for EOG, so I was like, you know what? Why not grab these heal crits for my arc lightning? But yeah, this is all I got for y'all, and I'll be coming out with something later today in terms of the Blue Lantern abilities. So make sure y'all check out that video that comes later for Blue Lantern. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.